I'm not crazy about on Sunday.
Debbie, I'm gonna let you go first, and you need to leave soon.
All right, thank you. All right, well, in special ed, we have this month been doing pretty much the same activities with eligibility reports, IEP meetings, reevaluation meetings, and so on. The biggest part of our time this month, we have been working on our desktop monitoring. Trying to fill in those responses, gather our documentation, get that uploaded into ePlan. We have our consultant who will be coming this Thursday to review our documentation and also the responses that we have put into our desktop monitoring. Also, once got that out of the way, then I am also going through the file folder review. And so for the past couple of days, I've been out in the schools reviewing those files of students that the state has pulled. Once we get all those files reviewed, we'll have to pull out that documentation, upload that into Easy IEP, and send that on. So we'll be glad to get that activity finished. And November 1st and 2nd, tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, we do have the state preschool consultant that will be coming. She'll be visiting the regular ed preschool classrooms, my special ed preschool classroom. This will be her announced visit to make sure that all is well in those classrooms. So we're not sure which day she will be popping in, but it will be one of those days. And the last thing that I want to share with you all, we did receive our test scores back. Of course, grades 3 through 8 this year will pretty much be setting a baseline for those academic areas in reading, language arts, math, and science, but we did receive scores back from our high school because those students did have 2016 EOC scores as compared to 2017 EOC scores. And our special ed students did well in the area of math and also in science. They did show a gain, but we did have a drop in our ELA, but we were very pleased to see those gains in those two academic areas. And that's all I have, unless you all have any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Stanley.
We did have our costume walk today, and I appreciate Ms. Smith and Mr. Stanley and Terry Keaton for coming up to help with that. We had a lot of fun with that, and we had a lot of participation and a lot of parents there. So appreciate everyone for their work on that. Our pre-K and Beta Club will be taking a field trip to Disney on Ice this Friday. Also on Friday, our students will be receiving their flu shots. Our Veterans Day program, which you should have an invitation, I think, up there at your place. It is Thursday, November the 9th, and we will start breakfast at 8:15. And if you've ever attended, and I know that Miss Esther has, along with her husband, and my husband has, we always have a great turnout for that. And we're expecting another great turnout this year. You all are certainly welcome to come. We look forward to seeing all of our veterans. That's a really good time for us up there. Our reading fair will be Friday, November the 15th, and we'll probably be calling some of you and asking you if you would like to help us judge that. We do have a lot of participation in the reading fair. So we try to get quite a few judges to help with that. Miss Brandy Harris is in charge of it, and she always does a great job with the kids. Health screenings are on Tuesday, November 21st. On November 28th, our fourth graders will be taking their trip to BizTown, which is a trip that they look forward to. It's arranged by Miss Regina. And again, she always does a good job of doing that for our fourth graders, and they're really looking forward to that. I do have a couple of things that I'd like for you to consider for the agenda. I've been a principal now for 13 years, and for most of that time, I have been asked to do a capital outlay budget. And for the last 5, I've requested lights and bleachers up on our field. I'm asking for that again. I am asking for you all to consider putting lights on our field. If you attended any of those games, then you know that by the time we got to the last two, we were totally in the dark. And the referees are getting a little concerned about the safety of those kids. We're getting concerned about not only that, but on the parents and the grandparents who are coming down off the slope there to get back in their cars. So I am asking that the board, I think that if we do a budget amendment, I think the money might be there, so I am asking you all to consider doing that, okay? The other thing, at some point, and I know we all need it, Mr. Blakely has checked on it for us, and I appreciate him doing that, is the floor burnishers. If you've been up to Winfield School, our school is generally, I think, just looks top-notch. Our floors right now really need a burnisher. You can tell a vast difference without that. And I know that we're all in the same boat. Mr. Blakely has explained that, I'm sure. But that is something that I think the board is really in need of considering for the schools. Okay? And if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer any of those that I can, or Mr. Thompson, Mr. Blakely may have some of those answers as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Donna.
Thank you. I don't have anything for the agenda, but I would like to congratulate our football team for winning the Class 1A state championship this past Saturday at Campbell County High School. They did have an undefeated season, so very proud of those young men and those coaches, and a young lady also on our team. Noah Buttram was named the offensive MVP, and like I said, our coaches, this is the second year they've been voted the coaches of the year for the state. Some of the players I want to recognize that made all-district was Noah Buttram, Rylan Duncan, Jordan Alcorn, Skylar Smith, and Ashton Rao. Students that were voted into all-state were Noah Buttram, Cole Tucker, Jordan Alcorn, Skylar Smith, and Ashton Rao. So very proud of those folks. Thank you, Mr. Cole Hunt, for taking the pep band to that. So it was a little bit cool on Saturday and rainy, but they stayed out there and played for us, and it was all outstanding. This past Sunday, we had our first ever basketball parent meet and greet dinner. Miss Amanda could probably talk to you more about that. Her and Coach Morrow got together, and all the parents came out. Most everybody, I think there was only like 3 or 4 players' parents that did not come. Had a cafeteria full of students and parents out there, and they just had a great time meeting the coaches and going over some rules and expectations. Brother Kyle Keaton came and delivered a message on winning with humility. And so it was a wonderful time that was had up there by all. Our book fair is at school until next Tuesday. Tomorrow is a picture retake day. We'll also be taking group sports pictures as well. November the 7th is our health screenings, and we were trying to work around everybody's schedules for Veterans Day. So our Veterans Day program will be on Wednesday, November the 8th, and we'll be getting out things in the newspaper and on the radio, but that will also begin at 9 a.m., so hopefully you all will be able to attend that. So unless anyone has anything for me. Thank you.
Ms. Hamilton.
I don't have anything for the agenda. Our book fair is happening right now, and it'll last all week. And I want to say a special thank you to Ms. Sharp and John Sexton for coming out and working and volunteering their time with that. We really appreciate that. For parent-teacher conferences, we had over half of our student population to come out this time. That's some of the biggest numbers we've ever had. So thank you to everyone who came out and visited with us. Our family reading night is next Tuesday, November 7th from 4 to 6. We also have birthday celebrations for November on November 8th. We have a veterans program also. We invite you out on the 9th at 9 a.m. if you're not at Winfield. We will not steal from Winfield. We won't have school on Veterans Day. That's been celebrated on the 10th. We have our health screenings on the 13th and student flu shots on the 14th. And I wish everyone a safe and happy Halloween. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I like your outfit.
Thank you.
It's her birthday too. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
birthday.
Thank you.
And Ms. Donna.
Happy Halloween. We want to thank Officer Sexton with the drug dog and the presentations they did during the week of Red Ribbon Week, and we want to thank him for everything that he does all throughout the year to make sure that our children are always told about how to have a healthy, safe, drug-free lifestyle. Parent-teacher conference, it was a big one. We had 292 parent-teacher meetings that night, so there was a lot of talking going on. So we appreciate all those parents that came out. Our girls basketball team is at the University of Tennessee right now, and they are visiting the Women's Hall of Fame. It's a very good trip for them, very educational. They really, really enjoy that. Huntsville basketball season begins Monday, November the 6th. We will be at Fairview. All junior varsity games start at 5:30. Varsity games start at 6:30. Of course, as I've already said, no school Friday, November 10th in honor of our veterans. November 13th begins the Maxwell Sexton Oratorical Contest and American Education Week, so we have plans for that. Student flu shots will be Tuesday, November 14th. Our midpoints will be going home Wednesday, November 15th, and that's also our early release. We always want to remind everybody about how the buses run at Huntsville. Special ed, pickups, Boys and Girls Club buses will all be leaving at 12 o'clock. First load leaves at 12:15, and second load leaves Huntsville at 12:40. So those parents can kind of calculate about how long it's going to take for their kids to get home from those times. Of course, November 22nd through the 24th is Thanksgiving break. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Robin.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get my tutu back and get it fixed.
There you go, you're welcome.
We had a great day today, by the way, so.
We can tell.
Yes, we did. And November the 3rd is going to be flu shots for our students this week, so we're excited to get those in there because unfortunately we are starting to see an early outbreak of the flu virus and strep throat, so we're very thankful to get those into the students. November the 9th, we have our Veterans Day program at 9 a.m. in the gym. Please feel free to come be with us. Our students put on a great program, and we normally have a really good turnout of veterans in our community. November the 13th, the Maxwell Sexton Oratorical Contest for Robbins, Huntsville, and Fairview will be at Robbins Elementary at 9 a.m. that morning. On the 20th of November, that's our family reading night from 3:30 to 5:30. Last Monday, Miss Maria Bruce, took our 5th and 6th graders to Biztown. That's always a wonderful trip that they enjoy every year, so I do want to thank her for preparing that trip and taking them. It's always very educational, and they always have a very good time. I do want to congratulate our 4 football players who made all-district. That is Austin Lau, Marcus McCracken, Luke Henry, and Malachi Goodman. And then also, this is not for the agenda, but I have let Mr. Hall know that our bleachers should be in place by next football season. We have already sent the letter. We've got a good portion of those funds already prepared, and we have already sent the letter, and they will be doing the bleachers from the Morgan County Correctional Facility. So we certainly appreciate all their help on that, and I know everyone endured a rough season of having to bring umbrellas and chairs, but I do appreciate everybody doing that and being cooperative with us, because you have to tear down in order to build up. So that's kind of been my philosophy this year. So thankfully we will have those in place, and I have already talked to Mr. Hall about that, and we've discussed that, so I just wanted to let you all know that as well. So unless you have any questions for me, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Rector.
I feel like I'm a little out of place. I didn't dress up or anything today. No, I did want to let you all know that last Friday we were able to host our annual, actually semi-annual medic blood drive. We usually do 2 of those a year. And we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do this or not, so until the last minute, but we were able to do that as a replacement drive for Brandon Morgan, who was a 2017 graduate of Scott High, and a student that was super special and close to a lot of our hearts. He was diagnosed shortly after graduation with leukemia and has been battling that for the last several months and has required several blood transfusions. And so we were able to have 39 replacement units for him. He was actually able to, actually home and feeling well enough to be able to come out and be a part of that with us. So it was a super special day for us to be able to kind of see that giving back come full circle. And so just continue to keep Brandon in your thoughts and prayers. His battle is still ongoing. It is still long and it's still hard, but we know that he's going to overcome this. So we have already talked to the medic people about coming back. We may do 3 or 4 of those this year, so I'll try to send you all out some information when that comes around again. But we were super proud and humbled to be able to do that for him. We want to congratulate our cross country and football teams. Both ended their regular seasons last week. Congratulate both of them on representing Scott High School so well. The football season, while it is over, they have been asked to participate in a character community service game on Saturday, and so they are going to participate in that. It's not part of the postseason. It is a community service game. It's a TSSAA sanctioned event. This is the 6th or 7th annual event. It will be at Grace Christian in Knoxville, and our team will play at 11 a.m. and all the proceeds for that goes to benefit a Knox County school student, 10 years old, who was diagnosed with cancer this year. And so all of the proceeds from that game will go to benefit him and his family. So we're going to participate in that on Saturday. On Thursday, November the 2nd, that's when our Veterans Day program will be. We're doing that in conjunction with a couple of, with Scott County and Campbell County VFWs. They're bringing a speaker in that will be at 1:30 again on Thursday, November the 2nd. On Monday, November the 6th, we will have flu shots for our students. And again, as Ms. Robbins said, we are starting to see a little bit of that trickle through. So we're anxious to get those flu shots for students. On this Thursday, the 2nd, will be the ASVAB test. We have 18 students registered to take that right now. Students can take that. We have to make that voluntary, but it is free of charge for them to take that test. And so we've been making those announcements throughout the last couple of weeks, but we do encourage students, they can come and sign up to take that test up until probably about lunchtime on Thursday. So if they would like to take that test, we encourage them to come up and let us know that. We will have that available for them on Thursday. Credit recovery has started for high school students, and we did have to put that off a little bit later this year than we normally do, but it has started. Those dates are posted throughout the school. If parents have questions, they can call the office and they can get dates from the office. We'll also try to get those out on the website pretty quickly, but I know that there are several students who have been hit with the early sickness and things like that who need to get some days made up and get some work made up, and they can get into credit recovery at this point to do that. That has started. And right around the corner, we'll get about a week to breathe, and then basketball season starts on November the 14th with the Hall of Fame games. Those will be played at Scott High. As soon as I get a detailed schedule of that, I'll send that to you as well. And that's all that I have, unless you have questions for me. Thank you so much.
Amanda, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On the agenda, I just have Amendment 2 for the federal budget. You should have a copy in front of you. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Blakely, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I've got one more committee that I need y'all to appoint. It's the final textbook committee in this adoption cycle, and it will be in the career and technical education side for arts, audiovisual technology and communication, and Mr. Benjamin Bruce, Ms. Michelle Carson, Mr. Stuart McNeely volunteered to serve on that committee, so I'd like to ask you to appoint that. And that should take care of the adoptions for this year. I might remember work session, but maybe before last, I gave you a copy of the adoption cycle, and that's kind of what I'm going by. And so that should get us all up to date with all our adoptions. And then I will have to meet with them. They have to take an oath that they have no interest in the actual, or financial interest, I think is the point of the whole thing, and then we'll go from there. I got a couple other things I guess I need direction from the board on, and we'll go, I guess, to an item that is of interest to Ms. Stanley and Ms. Newman, and that's the floor burnishers. The ones that we have are really old. They're hard to work on. But they're an expensive machine for their time. And a burnisher, I think I've explained to y'all before, and I don't want to be overly lengthy, but you have a low-speed machine that's more of a scrubber type machine, and you have a high-speed burnisher, which is what we need in our schools. Fairview's is not in real good shape. Robbins is not in very good shape, and Winfield's is pretty much not working. To replace that with an equivalent machine, and actually it would be wrong to say equivalent, these are much better machines than what we got, but of the same type, which are the rechargeable walk behind. I got a price from Ellison's today of $4,879. That's what they cost for that kind of machine, $4,879. And that's what we have. What we have is a rechargeable walk-behind machine. This particular model says it will clean 24,421 square feet per hour. Now, there is a cheaper alternative, which is the older type that looks more like a buffer. That's less than $1,000, but it doesn't have, you can pass these down and look at them if you want. That's the two options that I have for you right now. If you want me to do further, I can do that, but I think
Is this what we have now?
that's so much better than what we have now, but that's the kind. Yeah, the kind we have, I know from looking at it so much and trying to find parts for them, is a Nilfisk, Nilfisk Advance. And it's old technology. This is newer. I feel like it's a better, at least as good, and it's equivalent to better than what we've had. Sort of the upgraded version, you might say.
Have you checked Ellison prices against other people that can get these?
I have not this year. I have looked at similar prices, but again, it's a pretty, Granger has something that's similar, but theirs over $10,000. But I feel like that it's probably that much better. It's actually probably a better machine than that, but they have the ones with the handles, and then their walk behind is $10,000. That's the I suspect $5,000 is going to be about what you pay almost anywhere, but no, I have not looked.
Yeah, I was talking about on that particular.
There are advantages to buying from Ellison in that they do work on them. And I will do whatever this board directs me to do as far as pricing and looking. But there is some advantage in having somewhat local service on it.
What is the life expectancy of this type?
Miss Esther, I don't know. I feel like the ones we got are really, really, really old.
Does that say what's on it?
Said the warranty on it.
It's got a 1 year parts and 1 year, 1 and 2. Let me see. It is.
Most of those type of equipments don't have a big warranty because they're considered commercial use.
Yeah.
That means you're going to be using them a lot. So normally that stuff has not got a very big warranty. It's enough warranty to make sure it works when you get it. 6 months to a year normally is about all it amounts to.
The smaller one has 1 year labor, 2 year parts. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not about the same, but I don't see it on that. So that's what I would like to see us buy, because I think that maybe they might get a little more work done with it. Yeah, we can get it, I just, you know,
That's actually something don't have to come.
no, but, you know, a big purchase like that, you know, I wanted to bring before the board, but you tell me no, just, you know, I can buy it, I can get it tomorrow.
Yay! Can I get my wife's car too?
So, yeah,
Director Hall, are you ready to get this?
Yeah.
We're
Well,
good.
this man says we can go, we can go.
all right.
Work your magic, man.
All
She's
right,
probably
next,
not got
Now,
enough
we-
time to
well,
look
I don't
at
want
that,
that
but
we
she's probably
discussed.
working on her song.
Was maybe getting a couple this year, maybe a couple more next year. That's what we discussed one
Yeah, do
night.
like a fleet cycle,
Yeah.
so we're not like,
Buy them all
Wait.
at once.
we really need to buy 3 if we could,
And then put it on
And
the
then put
side.
on.
and then put it on the cycle, because Robbins is not in very good shape. I mean, it works, and I can check that and kind of confirm it, but I've got my notes from previous years, and I went down and looked at it, and it's less advanced than, say, like the Huntsvilles and Fairviews. And I don't know where we got these, but I suspect that we got them maybe used somewhere, but I don't know. But I'd like to buy at least 2 and preferably 3. Just, you know, so. All right, the other thing, now I was under the impression that this board had wanted me to go ahead and buy the trucks. But I kind of got some, I guess, mixed signals about that, and I just kind of want to be clear on our trucks that we talked about for the maintenance, which was a 1 4-wheel drive and 2 cab chassis with 2 beds. Is that something that y'all still want to go ahead and purchase?
Were we waiting like for the Chevy to come out?
Well, No, I just got some feedback that I thought maybe we were gonna wait, but no, I'm ready if, you know, just to make sure that,
Actually, me and Mr. Blakely talked, and I was under the impression that we actually never did vote on that, but we talked about it.
I knew we,
Do y'all think you voted on it?
I don't remember voting on it.
I don't think you voted on it. That's,
Discussed it positive.
we
that
were,
gonna do
he was
it,
up
but
there gathering up.
yeah, I think we never, it may not have ever made it to the agenda.
It didn't, and that's the reason I told him. He asked me, and I said, well, we did talk about that, but I said, we never voted on that. And this is big enough purpose that we would have to vote on that.
Yeah,
But now, that was just my thinking. He was getting paper to gather up for special ed.
yeah. And you know, what I looked at was on the state bid from, you know, as far as I know, that's legal, you know, for us just to buy without, if we buy off of the state bids. And I have no reason to think that it's not. I'll check with Mr. Beatty and make sure. But that's where I got my figures from. And that indeed may entail a budget amendment, but, and if it's not been voted on it, then it may well need to be on the agenda. Can it be general, just that the board directs Mr. Hall and myself to purchase these trucks and specify what they are? Is that satisfactory to the board, or?
So,
Well, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming, Miss Amanda, this is gonna come out of reserve money, because I know we didn't have the budget.
right.
Are we
Yes, sir,
good?
you're correct.
Yeah, there'd have to be an amendment to that.
Ms. Linda.
Okay, I gave you a red folder, with some test data in that, and let me say up front, we do not yet have grades 2 through 8 by teacher, by student, individual profile reports. And I did talk to them this week, once the word came out that we were supposed to get those, the end of last week. And Questar said they're working on it. So hopefully we'll get it by Christmas. I'm almost losing hope on getting that. But anyway, we do have some information that we're proud of. Hopefully you heard that our school district has been designated as an exemplary district, and I've given you a little bit of information about that. And that Robbins Elementary earned status of reward school. So we're very proud of that. And I did pull from my many files of folder in there. It was 2005, when Mr. Davis was here, that we earned AYP, if you remember what AYP was. And we had a little celebration out at Sky High when the Wolf Brothers came and sung from Knoxville. Then when Miss Wilson was our director in 2007, we had a celebration, and it was out, and some of you all may have attended that, it was out at the museum. And the Scott High Instrumental Group performed, and we had a good day. So we've talked about it would be great to do something, because Mr. Hall is a director now, so once again in his term, we have made exemplary district, which is really, really good. But on your little sheet, to tell you a little bit of background on that, under the Tennessee Succeeds Act, and I'm sure you've heard about that, and Tennessee's accountability system for 16-17 based on scores last year, keeping in mind that 3 through 8 did not test last year. The high school did. But anyway, so there's no scores to actually compare in 3 through 8 from last year to this year. But anyway, districts must increase achievement level for all students and show faster growth in trying to help catch up those subgroups, like your students with disability, economic disadvantage, those students. So the accountability knowledge, and I did like this part, that model does acknowledge that districts are starting from different places and rewards those that show the most growth. So that enabled us to be able to get that status. If you look at the next paragraph, what we have right now and how they come up with these calculations were grades 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and then there's a category called 3 through 8, which is basically just an average of those two. Then the high school, theirs were calculated with all their math courses, all their English courses, the grad rate, the ACT composite, and then the subgroups. So if you look at the next little paragraph, one thing that really helped us, our grad rate improved from 90.8% to 93.41%, which is a nice improvement. The year before, we just improved a point or two. ACT composite score improved from 16.9 to 17.7, which is very good, which is more than the previous year. The district growth scores, in thinking about growth, you can see I've listed there the areas where we feel like we showed growth that we hadn't shown before that helped us get the status of exemplary. For this time, we had a 3 in system-wide literacy, a 5 in system-wide literacy, 4 in TCAP system-wide literacy and numeracy, which is based on TCAP scores, and a 5 in TCAP EOC system-wide literacy, which is based on TCAP scores and EOC scores together, and then a 5 in the social studies. So those were areas that we showed growth. And then Robbins Elementary, what helped them become a reward school, they had a lot of 4s and 5s. They had 4s and 5s practically in all areas except a 3 in school-wide numeracy, and then a 1 in early grades. And early grades is an area that the state's working really hard and encouraging us. That's K2, actually pre-K2. So we do have an area to work on there. And that portfolio that are required of those pre-K and K teachers this year, hopefully that's going to be, even though it's scary right now, hopefully it's going to hit, once we do it, teachers are going to see they are in control of their own growth scores at that point, rather than taking just a test. Going on down Scott County, we were one of 48 school districts that exceeded that growth expectation and was designated as exemplary. And we were that because we exceeded the growth expectation on average for both our students and our subgroups. And so that was really good to hear. I know Debbie was glad of that. We exceeded that even in our subgroups. And in Robbins Elementary, they earned their reward school because of progress, which means growth, and that students are learning from one year to the next. So growth is very important. In Tennessee, there were 59 schools that were recognized for performance and were given a reward status because of that, based on achievement scores. And then 85 based on growth, and then 25 schools got both of those, and that's hard to do. You know, sometimes you hear people say, well, you can't, if you make it in growth, you can't make it in achievement, or if you make it in achievement, you can't make it in a growth. You can, but it takes hard work to do that. You have to really, really make sure that you're differentiating with those students and helping them meet their needs, their instructional needs. So if you look at the next page, and I'm just going to hit this briefly because you can see the chart here. These are the categories that we have right now, 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and then 3 through 8, which is pretty much an average of the two. And these show the scores of on track and mastered. I don't know if you remember, we used to be proficient and advanced. Now those same terms have changed and now they're on track and mastered. But if you look at this, you can see that one thing, and I told Miss Stanley, one thing she can be really proud of, if you look at her school in grades 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and then that average of 3 through 8, she exceeds not only the district but the state.
Yay,
And that's in ELA. And she can be really proud of it. And this is achievement, let me make that clear. Growth came out first. This is achievement. Also, Huntsville Elementary School exceeded the state in their 3 through 5. And so we're, you know, ELA has been an area, there was a time I remember that ELA, reading language, was stagnant. We could not move it. And we were in that situation for years. And we are very proud that in an area that is critical to every subject that we have, you know, we have exceeded, and I feel like we are continuing to integrate reading and writing in all of our subjects, especially that K2, and we have an intervention now that's scripted, and I think that has helped also. So we are going to try to stay on track and keep improving in ELA. Math has been a little bit more difficult for us. As you can see with math, basically we only have a couple of schools that has exceeded the district. No, Winfield exceeded the district, Huntsville Elementary exceeded the state. But math is a little bit more of a challenge, and we are going to have to work on that. We're waiting for our math intervention right now that's scripted. We're waiting for us to get those additional funds that we need for that. Hopefully they'll come soon because school's approaching half a year. So we're hoping to get that, and again, we are going to have to look at higher order thinking and critical thinking skills and those type of problems, you know, doing timed, multiplication facts are important, doing those timed facts and all kinds of times things for tests, because our tests are timed. But anyway, that's our challenge right now. Also, we haven't done as well in achievement in that area as we wish we had, so we're working toward that. If you look at science, science standards are getting ready to change. They weren't changed here.
But Huntsville Elementary again exceeded the state scores. However, science scores look a little bit better than ELA and math, but they did not have revised standards and they did not have that revised test. The test this year was very, very difficult. So any questions about achievement scores? The last page would be just looking at the high schools. And the state, because they had tested last year, they were able to generate 2016 scores compared to 2017. And we had several areas at the high school where 17 improved from 16. Algebra 2 improved, English 1, 2, 3, and U.S. history improved, and also English 3 and U.S. history exceeded the state score. So, very, very proud of that. So you can look at those, and hopefully we'll be receiving the rest of 3 through 8 scores soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bowles, did you have anything?
I don't have anything for the agenda. I would like the board to know that the state did come in for extended utilization. They inspected 6 buses. All the buses did pass. There was 2 buses that had some issues that were fixed on the spot. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hall.
Thank you. For the agenda, I would like the board to accept the school's activity fund audit as prepared by Dennis Jeffers. You have a copy of that with you. Would like to approve the renewal of the business trip accidental death coverage. Would also like to renew our membership with the Clinch Powell organization. Would also like to request the finance director to bid the Scott High School senior trip. I'd also like to approve the second reading of the following amended board policies as recommended by TSBA. Policy 6.4081, safe relocation of students. Policy 6.500, special education students. And policy 6.503, the homeless students. One other thing I would like to look at also too, if we want to place on the agenda for the lights, the bleachers at Winfield School, would also like to, same thing for Robbins, want to continue with their bleachers, and also want to take a serious look at Huntsville Middle School, and their bleacher situation over there also too. And visitor too, we need to look at the visitors at Scott High School. Because like I said, they are getting in pretty bad shape over there also too. Maybe something you want to do them separately or however you want to do these, but those are also concerns that we were going to place in our new 5-year construction plan. That's probably what we were going to do. Again, everything we do is with you guys on those outlay projects. So those are also the things we'd like to look at also. I too would like to congratulate the Birchfield football team for their district, regional, state championships, the players and the coaches for an outstanding season that they had this year. Also, Linda kind of stole my thunder, but I'm
Sorry.
okay, Lynn. We have reason to celebrate, guys. We were named an exemplary district. First
They
of all,
already
thank
heard
you.
about it anyway.
Yeah, I know. But thank to everyone for their hard work. That's our teachers, our students, our parents, custodians, our cooks, our maintenance, everything, transportation, everything is involved when we have success, especially you guys. It took everybody to do this. Now, so that we want to achieve every year. As you can look, and I think the things that Linda handed out are just a part of it, because that just shows the master. It doesn't show those students that moved from this group to this group. And also, too, with I was the bottom rung down there, Lee, and I'm sitting there trying to think, and the very last, below basic, we were lower than the state average in almost every category. Where they may have been 16% in some areas, we were 12%. So that's a good thing. We're moving students, and we'll continue to do so, and we're going to continue to do so. We've now set a bar, but it can be raised. Be raised every year as we continue to strive for this. Again, thanks to everyone, because it took everybody involved in this process. As we'd like y'all's input on some things you wanna do or might wanna do, to celebrate. We don't get it done this year because of weather, whatever, we can start it next year, but whatever, we are gonna celebrate this because this is, so that needs to be. And, again, thank you for everyone, your hard work and your efforts for that. That's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Can I just jump in and say that I'm very proud of my staff? I don't want to brag or toot our horns, but I will just a little bit. I'm just so proud of all the staff, faculty, kids at Robbins Elementary. They've really worked hard, and I'm really proud of that Reward School staff.
Reward School product is tremendous. Now, you got a thing next year to be reward progress and achievement, so there we go. That's where we go. And we all, you know, we fall short, it ain't gonna be because of the hard work and the effort that's been put in place by everyone out there. And guys, thank you for what you've done.
Diane, do you have anything?
No, I just want to congratulate Tanya's school, Birchville School, for their win. And of course, I want to toot our horn with Miss Newman. I'm very proud of what Robbins School has done, and the staff does work very hard.
I too, say the same thing. And I did have a question about Mr. Bowles. Are we short on substitute bus drivers again?
Yes.
I noticed recently, the last 9 days at Huntsville, we've had buses coming in late and leaving late.
Some of that has to do with football going out, band, leaving early.
How many more drivers do we need?
Well, we got one driver at Winfield right now. We got an open route at Winfield. And we're just gonna have to double up there for a while until we get another driver in. I have subs in place. Some of them can only drive Friday. Some of them are on the road. You just never know. Mr. Owens has been tremendous help this year. He's been helping a lot, but we still need more drivers.
And let me say, the Scott County is gonna run free advertisement for us for that, so as long as we wanna run it.
Right.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Kim, do you have anything?
I just want to congratulate Birchville and Robbins School and all the schools exemplary. I mean, I'm just proud of all of them. I can wear this jacket with pride. Always. I'm just proud of Scott County. I'm just proud of all the teachers, the principals, everybody that works. And you know the TSBA journal we get every quarter? I spoke with Tammy Grissom. She is the president. And I got with Gary, Robin, and Paula, and they give me the big article with all the pictures. She wanted to do an article in this journal in January on the Scott County Museum.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I sent it to her last week, and she's very excited. I invited her to come. She goes, I can't get there now, but I want this article, so maybe she'll come and visit.
And they tell, I invited everybody to come.
I know you do, yes.
That's
great.
We meet with them, so.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. How about you, Lou?
Congratulations to all you principals and the schools, you've worked hard.
I guess I agree. What am I gonna say? They left nothing for me to say.
So I'll agree too. Well, if you guys will go home, you go home. We were supposed to work on our policy booth, but I think we're gonna wait till.
Halloween.
Since it's Halloween.